Israel attacked many military bases in Iran, starting that skirmish. The U.S. has stayed out of it so far. President Trump calling it, saying that I gave Iran chances after chance to make a deal, and it chose not to do it. It was day 61 of his last his warning, and the time is up. So what we're seeing is the U.S. dollar moving higher. We're seeing U.S. bond yields also move higher by a few pips off of their lows, which is a little bit unusual, but U.S. stocks are down but steady on the day. I'll go through the technicals that are driving the euro versus U.S. dollar, dollar versus yen, sterling versus U.S. dollar, the three major currency pairs in this video, so let's get started. The euro versus U.S. dollar is down minus 0.68% to start the trading day. That comes after rising to a new high going back to 2022 in trading yesterday. That high took the price above the high price that we saw in the month of April at 1.15726. And you can see the price tried to stay above that level. It came back down to it a little bit lower and then moved a little bit higher in the early Asian session. Then all hell broke loose and the price rotated back to the downside. That moved to the downside, dipped a little bit below the high price that we saw in trading last week near the 1.14935 level before rotating back to the upside. We're just trading currently at 1.15055. If the price were to move back below the 1.14935, we could see further selling back down toward this area right through here, where we had swing highs and lows over the last few weeks. We did extend above it on this fail break here, but then rotated back to the downside using that area as resistance right through here. So this is the focus on the downside on further selling pressure in this area right through here between the 1.1439 and 1.1455. If we get below that level, then the rising 100 bar moving average of the 4-hour chart will be the next key target. On the top side, we're going to need to hold support right through here at 1.14935, and we may and rotate back up to the high price that we saw in the month of April and get above that level to increase the bullish bias for the euro versus US dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen. And we did see a move to the downside in trading yesterday. That took the price back below the 200 and the 100 bar moving average on the 4-hour chart, also below the swing area right through here. But we fell short of the lower swing area down through here, where we had a number of different swing lows forming that floor before basing ahead of that floor and moving higher in trading last week. The move to the upside now has taken the price back to those moving averages, those broken moving averages that we saw in trading yesterday. They come in between 143.84 and 144.356. If we see a increased move above the 200 bar moving average at the 35 level, we should see further upside momentum that could take the price back up toward the high price that we saw earlier this week at 145.47. Conversely, stay below that level, move back below the 100 bar moving average and this swing area, and we could see a rotation back to the downside. All depends on what happens in love and war. Finally, let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. And this currency pair did make an extension to, this is the hourly chart, to new highs for the week, and highest level, all going back to the weekly chart, all the way back to, right to this high price, high area at 1.36445. If we go to the hourly chart, the high price that we saw in trading here today moved up to 1.3631, so about 14 pips short of that 445 level, around 45 level, before the market started to rotate to the downside off of that war news. The 100 and 200 hour moving average converged at 1.35419, and that level will be a barometer for buyers and sellers. On the downside, we moved down toward the low price that we saw yesterday, but fell short of this swing area. Some highs and lows through there, but you might even say 135.05 to 135.14 is more of the target area on the downside, where in between here and here, where the price might look to find support. If we break below that level, then we'll look toward the trend line, which we fell below earlier this week, just briefly before rotating to the upside after testing this other swing area down through here. So we're trading right near the 100 and 200 hour moving average. It's a key barometer for traders today in this pound versus US dollar. We'll see how that plays out. But more brings a lot of uncertainty. We have trade wars. We have now Iran versus Israel. We have Russia versus Ukraine. We have the Israel versus the Gaza. So there's lots of tension in the world. Let's hope that it doesn't get any bigger than that. My name is Greg Mikulowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.